seconds or so, we'll launch it. And mics are live, by the way.
You made Hendy, oh, he's a hodler. You made Hendy a moderator too? Hodler? Where's your dancing? What is going on, crypto fans? Welcome back. Happy Hump Day, the middle of the week, and welcome back to Sin City Crypto Live. I am one of your hosts, David, and we are coming at you from our studio here in the city of sand and dust and allergies. Before we get into content, quick disclaimer: nothing that's said on this channel should be taken as financial advice, so please, as always, do your own research. With that being said, I'd like to introduce you to the man, Big Rob. What's up?
Hola! It's your boy, Big Rob, back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, the boring, and stale information, packaged up in a fun and sexy way.
You're not going to do your hand gestures? Anyways, I was hoping Robin was going to do his hit. No audio, Rob. I sabotaged him. You had no audio, no. You can put it on me. So, I hope you guys, can they hear me? Can you guys hear me? Do you hear me talking? Hello, hello. We're good? So I was trying to sabotage you. Oh, can hear David fine, yeah. So I didn't want to say this yet. I wanted to wait till the show. But I was doing us a favor. I feel like you got double dose of Robin yesterday. You got the night stream, the morning stream. And so I figured today he could take some time off, rest his vocal cords a little bit. So just kidding. Anyways, everyone hears you, I believe. Yes.
All right. So welcome to Sin City Crypto. If it's your first time checking us out, we are an entertainment-focused cryptocurrency channel where we take the old, the boring, the stale information and package it up in a fun and sexy way. Also, here at Sin City Crypto, we don't just do live streams. We also do deep dives. This is the live stream, though. Make sure you check out the deep dives and other content as well.
Yes.
Night stream last night and other things as well.
You know, people were pretty disappointed that our friend Larry was not on the stream. And I'm telling you guys, okay, you only see the good side of Larry. You see the little tickle video he put on Twitter. You see him eating Dorito chips. I'm telling you, that is the tip of the iceberg. It's like going on a date, meeting a girl. And on the surface, the first date is great. She's funny. She pays for half the bill. And then you really get to know her. You're like, damn, what in the world have I done? And that's Larry. You hang around Larry too much, he will annoy the crap out.
You leave Larry out of this, bro.
I'm telling you, man. This is a good thing. This is a good thing.
Yeah, I wonder why. What'd you do to my audio, bro?
Anyways, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and put it on me. I will take us through. I will do our market overview, our traditional crypto market overview. And while our audio engineer figures out why his audio is not working. All right. So real quick, gentlemen, if you can just pull up my laptop. Mr. Producer, please? Thank you, sir. All right. So what's crypto doing? All right. Now, we are 30 minutes, 24 minutes away from the Fed announcing their rate hike. I've been saying all week we're going to see 75, and I think that's what we're going to see. And if my theory is correct, that the market already priced in 75 basis points on Monday when we saw that ginormous dip in the stock market. Crypto, you could say it was a little different story with the whole Celsius thing going on, but
Did you say Celsius?
I did say Celsius. So if my theory is correct, and when they come out and if they announce 75 basis points, I think we're either going to see a small rally, a relief rally, which in my opinion would be similar to a dead cat bounce, or we'll see the markets trade sideways. If we come in at 50 basis points, the market will rally significantly. I'm thinking anywhere between 3 to 5% on the NASDAQ, probably closer to that 5% threshold. Dow Jones, S&P 500, closer to that lower range, 3.5%, 4%. If they come in at 100, which is very, very unlikely, if they come in at 100, there's going to be blood. Blood in the water, blood, or whatever the hell that song goes. So we will see in 23 minutes, 22 minutes now. We will, Robin or I will be looking at these, the announcement when it comes out, and we will tell you guys what the Fed rate hike is. So make sure you stay tuned for that.
So apparently somebody turned the power off of my microphone. Was it you, David?
Yeah. I'm telling you, I was trying to do everyone a favor, okay? Guys, you're welcome, all right?
All right, so back at it. No, we have to deliver power to the microphones, and for whatever reason, the power was not turned on to the microphone. So a little bit about.
Rob,
did you do roll call yet?
no,
All right. What's up?
I'll do roll call.
You'll do.
I feel like,
hold
you know,
on,
at
hold
least
on.
once a week.
Let
Hold
me
on,
get-
wait. I feel like once a week our people deserve
Okay.
to have their names pronounced correctly, right?
Go
Also,
ahead.
first in the chat was Sin City Crypto. You usually give air hugs. Would you be willing to give
I'm
a
not
real life hug?
hugging you at all, bro, dude.
Sure?
Yes, 100%. Get out of here. Thank you.
All right. Brokioshi Marky Mark. Welcome. Brokioshi was the legit first person in the chat. Then we had Stereo 2 on vacation, hanging out in the chat. Jason Squared. Wheelin' Dealin' James Wheeler. Hendy. So our hodler and our two whales are going to be our moderators. So be on your best behavior, right? Daniel, Sir Babe, Destroyer, welcome back. Patricio. Who else we got in here? I think that's it. Luis, Bullish Kenny G. Mervin's been here before, right? Mervin, welcome back. Strictly Sports, what is going on, my friend? JCap, and where's Why You Loud at? That's what I
No
want.
idea, man.
Why You Loud? D-Fib's not here,
Nope.
but it's okay. The show must go on. There was a song someone wrote about that. I believe it was pretty famous. Did you like that song, by the way, by Queen? Show must go on.
I have no idea what song you're talking about.
You have no idea that song. Oh my God.
That's right.
You uncultured swine. Anyways, so Rob,
What's up, brother?
I think 75 points coming in, and I think it's already priced in. Small relief rally, markets go neutral. What are your thoughts?
I don't know, man. I don't think so. Well,
So what do you think?
I'm really questionable, man. I don't know. I think a 0.5% is still where we're going to come in at.
You're crazy.
I think, okay, check this out. 0.5%, and we find out what, in 20 minutes?
Yeah.
0.5%, and then on top of that, the markets rally. If it comes in at 0.75, then I think we're due for a big pullback. So yeah, I don't know.
What do you guys think? Are you with me or are you with Robin on this one? If you're part of our, if you're a member, you can use our face emojis. If you're not, put an R for Robin, put a D for David. I stand by what I say. You laughed at me when I told you Monday it was a market's pricing in 75.
It's because it's all driven by media, bro. There's been no supporting evidence coming from the Fed that they're going to raise it 0.75. If anything, Jerome Powell came out last month and said, "Hey, 75 was never on the table. 0.75 was never on the table. We're not going to do 0.75." And so now that all of a sudden 2 days beforehand, you get this big narrative that you're going to have 0.75, maybe 1%. I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibility because you know what? The inflation report came in absolutely out of control. You know what?
What?
You want to jump right into this? Look. You want to talk about inflation? Inflation is out of control, right?
Oh, God.
I got to show y'all something. I got to show y'all a video. Here, pull up my laptop, my dude. Y'all got to see this right here. First of all, I'm going to start this video off with yours
my girl,
truly.
Janet?
That's your girl.
What's up, Janet?
Yo, boo-boo. All right, here we go. Take a look at this, man.
I bought her that necklace, by
I
the way.
really doubt that we're going to see an inflationary cycle.
Most economic analysts believe that it will have a temporary or transitory impact.
The faster than expected increase in some of those prices is actually a good sign.
The overwhelming consensus is going to pop up a little bit and then go back down. No one's talking about this great,
This is something that will settle down.
Transitory.
Transitory.
And the data shows that most of the price increases we've seen were expected and are expected to be temporary. There's nobody suggesting there's unchecked inflation on the way. It's highly unlikely that's going to be long-term inflation that's going to get out of hand. I don't know anybody who's worried about inflation.
Over the last couple of months, we actually saw it trended downward.
President Biden's chief of staff, Ron Klain, enthusiastically retweeted an economist who had said in part most of the economic problems we're facing, inflation, supply chains, et cetera, are high-class problems.
What is the Granholm plan to increase oil production in America?
Oh my God, that is hilarious. Well, the number one thing that the president can do is help get COVID under control. That we know is the root cause of inflation.
President Biden this afternoon saying he thinks we're at the peak of the crisis right now and that lower prices are on the way.
The inflation has everything to do with the supply chain. Make no mistake, inflation is largely the fault of Putin. I'm going to do everything I can to minimize Putin's price hike here at home.
If you want to get rid of inflation, the only way to do it is to undo a lot of the Trump tax cuts.
I think ever since you've come into office, things are really looking up. You know, gas is up, rent is up, food is up, everything.
Yeah.
Okay, To Joe Biden's defense, to Joe Biden's defense, the people in place that is their job to keep track of stuff like this have failed him. When the Treasury Secretary comes out and says it's transitory, when the Fed chair doesn't seem too worried
You're
about
back
it,
in the old Sleepy Joe?
I'm just saying, man, the guy is not, he's not looking at what's going on in the supply chain. He depends on other people that he put in position or that other people put in position.
I think they were
telling
right.
this information.
I think they were right about when they said and this was brought on by the pandemic. It's a root cause, and you know, at the end of the day,
it's a major cause, but it's not
the policies that are in place that cause inflation were enacted because of the fear of the closures and things of that nature. They just, in my opinion, they just didn't tighten them down. They didn't get back to normal for so long. It took 2 years for them to adjust the interest rate. And you know what? The U.S. was closed for, 2 months?
Yeah.
Essentially?
Yeah.
I mean, I know there was restrictions and all this other stuff, but, at some point, maybe like early 2021, mid 2021, when the economy was coming back and there was a lot of people, back at work. And it just seemed like they were just dragging their feet. Because they're like, hey, man, you know what? This 0% interest rate thing is really working out, man. It's, look how many people are, investing. Look at the Wall Street. It's pumping. But, this is all at the cost of the global, money, the money supply, the U.S. dollar. Yeah. Well, the world reserve currency is the dollar. And so other countries are borrowing the dollar to finance their own, to facilitate trade, to enact their own policies. So,
I think what he was saying about the whole Putin thing, I think is partially true. I think, and I'm agree with James here in the chat.
Yeah.
We were well on our way right? Because of the quantitative easing and the money printing. And the Putin thing, the supply chain, it just sped everything up.
We were on the way to inflation regardless. And, you know, maybe we would be looking at a 7%. Or maybe we'd be looking at 6.8 at most per the CPI. But, the writing was on the wall. It was going to be high inflation regardless. And now it's just that much more drastic when you basically take the energy, the oil, the gas.
I honestly don't think.
And you have this giant price
I don't think even a 75 basis point rate hike is going to do anything.
No. I mean, you literally would have to, if you would like to immediately draw down inflation, you would have to like go up 5%. And there's no way that's going to happen. We're at 0.75 right now. 0.75. Let that sink in. Housing rates, the average 30-year mortgage is sitting over 6% now. And so, what would happen if the federal interest rate was at 5%? Man, it'd be no bueno. So, anyways, I just wanted to get into that. So, taking a look, I know you already went over the.
I did not. No.
Okay, so taking a look, pulling up my laptop here. We are with Bitcoin $20,774. Now. We're touching all-time lows here, or at least not all-time lows, but since the bull market.
So hold on, go back to that first chart.
The daily.
It's a little inverse head and shoulders going on there.
You can't take a daily chart only for 24-hour chart here. So, we were at low this morning.
Damn, we're
testing this $20,000 limit. I mean, on the 7-day chart, we have just taken some big ass L's, man. Look at this, man. We're at 30,000 now. Bitcoin testing this 20,000. I am scared, man. If they do raise the interest rate to say 1%, or I've been telling you 0.75%, I'm kind of fearful what's going to happen because. This is the 1 month here. So you can see the significance of this drop as of lately. The 1 year, actually the year to date's the best here. So you can see we came in January at $46,000 Bitcoin, well over 50% down on this. So where is the bottom, you might add? I did tweet a picture earlier where I showed the 200-week moving average, which has been in the history of Bitcoin. We just straight bounced off of this thing, and that has always been essentially the bottom time and time again.
There were a couple instances where we stayed under it.
Well, in 2018, we did dip under, and right now we're actually under.
That's something I'm going to go over in market analysis.
Yeah? Yeah. All right, cool. So then I'll let you pull that up. We got 35 people in the chat. When we get up to 45 people today, we will open the club. Taking a look at the Fear and Greed Index, we're sitting at 7. So
does that mean I win?
No, that was a 1-day thing. Okay. So 7 on the Fear and Greed Index. So a lot of fear, man. This thing does this thing go to 0?
It's gonna get to under 5.
Do you think Bitcoin has to go to 0 for this to go to 0?
I don't know.
I just said, I don't know if the meter goes that low. Anyways, we do use this as a metric to identify not only what the sentiment is in the market, but when it's a good time to buy. And when you're in extreme fear, the lower the number historically has been a great time to pile into Bitcoin. And conversely, when you're overhyped up and the meter is greedy, when people are out here just celebrating, usually not the best time to buy. It's usually the run up.
Also, a couple things before Robin moves on. If I see a lot of people entering the stream, if it's your first time, make sure you say hello in the chat. We'd love to give you a personal shout out and welcome you to our Sin City Crypto fam. Also, we're going to be talking about Celsius and exactly what the restructuring means, what the possibilities are. We're going to talk about Fed rate hikes. So make sure you stay tuned.
We got more Celsius juice?
We got more Celsius juice.
Oh, man.
And a big hedge fund is in a lot of trouble, apparently. So we'll talk about that, too.
Yeah, man. I'm excited. 45 people in the chat, man. You think we can get there today?
Hell yeah.
Hey, guys, if you guys have an extra iPad laying around, go ahead and log in. Get that extra viewer up in
Trying to do
here.
this organically, bro.
You know I love them organic vegetables.
Go ahead.
All right. So look at, Wall Street is a little bit more bullish on this Fed news. It's supposed to drop in 10 minutes. So we'll see. Keep an eye on this. We like to take a look at the NASDAQ if you're not familiar with what we're trying to identify when it comes to Wall Street. NASDAQ is usually a good indicator of more high-risk stocks, more risk-on assets, which tend to trade very similar to Bitcoin. So NASDAQ up 1.6%. Now, Wall Street is we had 5 days where the S&P 500 traded at a negative 5 days in a row, which for the Wall Street, not typical. And then what else we got here?
We got a new person in the chat.
Who we got in here?
Niyami.
Oh, Nayami. Hola! Welcome, Sin City Crypto. And then so yeah, anyways, I think this is still the calm before the storm. You do see the index funds in the green right now. If we come in with a 0.5% interest rate, definitely gonna stay green. You agree with that, right? Yeah, I mean we'll rally, right?
We're rallying.
Okay, so 0.5%. That's what we got our fingers crossed. We'll rally. Not only Wall Street but also crypto. And then
I don't know.
You don't think
With the
crypto's
Celsius thing? I don't know, man.
I think there's going to be a rally, man. I think we'll bring us back up to $24,000 Bitcoin, in my opinion. But across the pond here, Europe, central bank holds emergency meeting to discuss the market route. So they are going to, for one, they're going to raise their interest rates. For a while, they were saying they were just going to hold steady, but they've also dealing with a lot of inflation issues. So the European Bank is having an emergency meeting.
So it was what, 3 months ago, 2 months ago, they were saying, nope, we're not hiking up interest rates, and here we are.
Yeah. So the big thing here, this is what I take away. Bond yields have come down, and the euro has moved higher against the dollar. So why are they having this meeting? A lot of it might be with bonds. I think that's the number one concern is that they need to borrow. Again, they need to borrow dollar to transact via bonds, and the Treasury bonds are shooting up in price as well. So taking a look at bonds. So the 10-year bond is actually down, but this 3.4% is pretty high. The 10-year bond, I can't ever find the chart with the 2-year. So the 2-year is supposed to be a lot less returns than the 10-year. The idea is you borrow longer, they'll give you a higher interest rate. That's the premise to it. And when the 2-year tends to
2-year is at 3.31.
Yeah, so 3 So the 2-year and the 4-year are pretty comparable. So there's not much incentive to do a long-term investment in bonds, and these are APYs. So I mean, technically, you borrow longer, but still, it still makes more sense to take out 5 2-year loans at a higher yield than it is a 10-year loan instead of being locked in for that whole time. So, anyways, I think that's.
I want to show some. Chris, will you pull up my laptop, please? So this is the Atlanta Fed. Okay, so if you're not familiar with how the Fed works, it's a central bank. They have 12 different chapters, right? 12 different banks. Feds spread out across the U.S. that serve purpose for a territory, right? Atlanta Fed is the southeastern part of the country. Atlanta, Louisiana, Georgia, all those places. And here is their estimated GDP growth for Q2. We're at 0. They're estimating that we will be at 0. And if you look back here, it was only middle of May, where they projected over 2.25 And then towards the beginning of June, it was down to 0.5, and now it's at 0. If you remember Q1, we were negative, I believe, 0.7 or 1.7, which means if we come in at 0 or negative, by the definition of many economists, we will be officially considered to be in a recession. Some people might fight me on that or might fight the people that use that metric. But every single time we've had 2 consecutive negative growth in GDP quarters, we have gone into a recession. We've been saying this on this channel for a while. We are already in a recession, whether officially or not. Look at the numbers. We've been in a recession, and in my opinion, a recession is the best case scenario we can face. So thought this was pretty interesting. So now I'm curious, the end of the month, which the next one is going to come out, what's their projection going to be? 7 days. I think it'll be under 0. So you got anything to add to this, Robin?
No, I think I just want to know what the hell is going to happen. This Fed interest rate, man. I'm telling you, man. It's like you're waiting to find out if Santa Claus brought you some presents or not, or if you got coal in your stockings. You ever put coal in your kids' stockings, David?
I ate the cookies though.
You eat the cookies?
Yeah.
Hold on. You eat Santa's cookies?
Yep.
Stop.
I am Santa. Hope my kids aren't watching. I think it's at soccer practice. Anyways, you got anything else to add on the traditional market?
No, I think that's it. What do we got? Hot take?
Hot take.
All right.
Let's
roll
roll
the hot take.
That's hot.
All right. Now, you're going to go back to me, Chris. Thank you, sir. We appreciate it. By the way, big shout out to our friend Chris. He is filling in the producer chair. Rocco's on vacation. Eddie was fired yesterday. So, Chris, we appreciate you. Thank you so much. So the hot take for today is this. Is DeFi dead? Is DeFi dead? Robin, I will send it to you first, my friend.
You know what? DeFi has straight taken some lumps, bro. Everybody here probably is familiar with what DeFi is, but just to give you a quick synopsis here, DeFi, decentralized finance. So to interact and facilitate all of your financial needs without the need of a large banking system. And so, we've had a lot of good movements. It all kind of started with what? Uniswap, right? Yeah. I mean, I'm sure, you had Aave around before then, but, essentially it kind of started with Uniswap. And then from there, you were able to transact with other people. And then lo and behold, came in the lenders. The Celsius, the Aave, all these other big institutions, Curve Finance, Yearn Finance. And so you were able to borrow, trade, stake, earn yield on your crypto by simply giving it to a custodial service, a financial institution, and then you would earn money. So anyways, where I'm getting at is that these people are holding tons and tons of money, billions and billions of dollars. And what they're doing is the same thing that the banks were doing. And so in the same way that the banks take your money and they custody it for you, but what they're doing on the back end is that they're lending it out to other people and they're, offering mortgages and, giving out loans and basically making your money work for them. And then in the event that everybody comes up and wants their money out at the same time, what ends up happening is that if the Fed will back them up. And so if Bank of America all of a sudden has a bunch of people come in and try to withdraw all at once, federal government will step in and be like, hey man, we see you're through some tough times. You're about to get liquidated. You took everybody's money and you invested it in places that you probably shouldn't have. And now you're underwater. So here's some cash to keep you afloat. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that in crypto. And the way things are going right now, we are in a bear market.
Here we go.
You got it?
3/4.
3/4?
0.75. I told you.
Dang.
Pull up my laptop, Chris.
Okay, breaking news, everybody.
Fed hikes its benchmark interest rate by 3/4 of a point, so 75 basis points, aka 0.75%. The biggest increase since 1994. 1994. So we will see how the markets react, and we will keep our eye on that between me and Robin, whoever is not talking.
Okay.
Again, I don't think the markets are going to freak out. I think they were expecting this. I think this is already priced in on Monday.
It was expected at 0.5% up until
word came out
48 hours ago, man. So I'm telling you, it's gonna dump, man. We're gonna see some red.
Nope.
1.5% here. I think you're gonna see a reversal in the markets. So, but back to DeFi. So, anyways, the banks have the luxury of having Daddy Fed behind them to bail them out if things go south. If everybody wants to, and we're done with the laptops here. Okay, so if things go south with the banks, you got the Fed behind you, and they're going to come and bail you out. And then you don't have that luxury in DeFi. And so what we're in now, we're in a bear market. You have these lenders or these custodial services that have taken their customers' money and they've reinvested it. And they've taken some losses. We have losses in Terra Luna. We have losses in just small projects. Yeah, everything. But, you've had epic collapses as well. So, people, they don't have enough money to go around because of mismanagement and capital. But there's nobody there to bail them out. And so now word is getting out, hey, they're not going to have enough money to pay you back. And the people that are catching wind of this, and it all started with Celsius. There's all these content creators and these professionals out here screaming at the top of their lungs like, "Hey guys, you know what? Everything's transparent. We can see the finances on hand for Celsius, and we can see they don't have enough money to pay you out." And so this is gonna collapse. And then one by one, the holders are like, they're hearing this one by one, they start removing their capital. And then now you see what happened. Celsius stops trading. And why do they stop trading? Because they're reaching dangerously low points where they just don't have enough money to go around. And so, is DeFi dead? At the moment, it is. Here's the thing. You can't have this business model in a bear market. Right? You can't corral a ton of cash during a bull market and then expect to reinvest it and not pay out in a bear market, because you're going to take losses when tokens drop and projects fold. Also, we got Samir. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto, my dude. All right.
As it stands currently, DeFi is dead. DeFi isn't even DeFi. I mean, the whole idea of DeFi is there's no centralized entity that has control of your money. Well, not your money, but
that's a good point.
Has control. So when you have one of the largest DeFi platforms able to halt, able to put a pause on withdrawals and swaps and transactions, that is not decentralized. That is literally centralized. So as it stands right now, I would go to say there is no DeFi. And some of you might agree, some of you might disagree with me, but DeFi is dead. Like, I've been saying this for the last few days. I hope you don't have any money in DeFi. If your money is locked in Celsius, I'm sorry. I hope the money comes out. I think eventually it will. But don't put any more money. Don't put in BlockFi, Compound, Aave, Lido, nothing. As it stands right now, there is no DeFi. Okay? DeFi currently is dead. I don't think anyone should be putting money in DeFi. Celsius proves that simple fact. It's not decentralized. Nothing is 100% decentralized. But I would go to say Celsius is more centralized than they are decentralized, and they're considered a decentralized financial platform. So.
Yeah, you made a really good point. DeFi, decentralized, run by centralized companies, Aave, Celsius, Curve Finance. So that goes against what we consider DeFi. I guess the idea all was spurred from making your crypto work for you And so instead of, if you wanted to take out a loan, instead of having to apply on straight credit, you could use your crypto as a collateral. And I think that idea just exploded to a point where everybody's using their crypto as a collateral to leverage debt, right? And so you're taking out a loan, you're using your crypto as collateral, and one by one, these projects, your collateral is falling, is dramatically falling in price, and so now people are getting liquidated. Cascading liquidations. I liquidate here. Basically, when you liquidate, you sell. So if I have $1 million worth of collateral in Bitcoin and I have a liquidation point or a margin call at, say, $20,000, and you open up your position at $45,000 Bitcoin, you're like, yeah, there's no way, man. There's no way Bitcoin will hit 20,000. Wrong. And then when this event happens, you just sold $1 million worth of Bitcoin. Now, what does that do? It pushes the price even further. And then somebody that has a sell order, that has a liquidation point at 19.5, the price of Bitcoin liquidates them. And then they liquidate their $1 million. And then that snowballs and keeps going. Anyways, bro, you know how many viewers are at?
45.
We're at 45 viewers. You know what? Your boys here at Cincinnati Crypto, we're growing. Come grow with us. We like to celebrate our growth when we break new numbers in the chat. So 46 people in here. Go ahead and pull up the studio cam, my dude, and then launch the club music. Let's go. Yeah. Bro, we growing, man.
And then we brought back down under 40. You can dim the music on my phone.
We're growing, man. We're growing.
We are growing. The new number looks like 48.
48. Yeah, why don't we just throw a 50 out there? Okay. We're not going to open up the club again. We're not going to open up the club till we reach 50. I think we've only reached 50 one time before, and that was when we did like a blockchain parlay back in the day.
50.
Did we?
I don't think so.
Either way.
Anyways.
Yeah, we if you're new here, we've been having, this channel's been live since December, and we had months and months where we didn't have any viewers. So we want to, we like to celebrate our growth here. So every time we cross a new all-time high, we have a party. We do well here in Vegas. 1, cryptocurrency show. 2, nightclubs and partying, and so that's what we do, baby.
3, apparently dad moves.
Dad moves.
That's what Bullish Kenny G said.
That's right.
Anyways, been talking a lot of crap about me lately, bro. I'm going to have to put the hammer down.
All right.
Just kidding. All right, yeah. So as it stands currently, in my opinion, DeFi is dead. There needs to be an overhaul, and
but I like the idea of borrowing on your own crypto. Let's just say you have Bitcoin, you want to take out a mortgage on your Bitcoin, use your Bitcoin as collateral. That's like a great idea. And, I think there's a lot of volatility. I mean, there is a lot of volatility. So I don't know if that business structure is ideal for long-term borrowing or for borrowing large amounts of cash that you like have to have. Like, what happens if your position is liquidated on a mortgage where your collateral is crypto? I don't know. It's to be seen, man.
TBS. Anyways, we're moving on to our very next segment of our show, which is our talking points. Beautiful. Mr. Producer, we can go ahead and pull up my laptop. I have a video to show you guys. This is our friend Gary the Gun talking to the Wall Street Journal, and this is about a 2.5-minute video. So we're going to play that for you guys. Please enjoy.
Questions, but given what we are seeing right now in the markets, where we're having huge routes in cryptocurrencies, where we have a crypto lender that has locked accounts, is there new urgency to this topic?
I think the urgency is highlighted, but the urgency has been there, and it's an urgency about investor protection. Crypto assets, tokens, there's thousands of them, are highly speculative assets. And there's a basic bargain in our capital markets that if you want to raise money from the public, you're supposed to make certain disclosures, full and fair disclosures, and not mislead them, not lie to them, not defraud them. And in this crypto space, many of the tokens, maybe not all of them, but many of the tokens have the attributes, the key attributes of securities. A group of entrepreneurs raising money from the public and the public hoping for a profit. And that makes them under the securities laws. You mentioned crypto lending and crypto exchanges. We brought an action earlier this year against a company called BlockFi, which was one of the 6 to 10 largest lending platforms. And for your public listening, that firm had 670,000 retail accounts. It had about $17 billion of crypto that they were taking in and saying, we'll give you a return, an above bank type of return, and then we'll lend your crypto out to somebody else. There's still a half a dozen others. And what we found in that BlockFi situation is they were an unregistered security, and they had not registered as what's called an investment company. Think like a mutual fund, an investment company. And these lending platforms today are still offering rates up to like 17%. You can go to crypto exchanges, to use that word, and you can see on some of the leading crypto exchanges rates above 10% for some stable coins that are purportedly backed by US dollars. Now, how in today's markets, in June of 2022, somebody says, I can offer you 10%, and there's something really there. Or some of the lending platforms that you can go to and are offering 7 to 17%. And so you can see the investing public can be attracted to that, but what stands behind those claims? And that's what we're really looking at here. Now, we found a path forward with BlockFi. We'll try our best to find a path forward with other lending platforms, but to the extent that there are unregistered securities offers, non-compliant securities offerings for investment companies, we will talk to them, try to get them registered, but also bring, where necessary, enforcement actions, and also about the exchanges.
All right. Hurts me to say this, but the gun made a couple good points. We've been trying, at least me personally, I don't know about you guys, but if something sounds too good to be true, what's your initial thinking, right? You're a little skeptical. You typically do a little more in-depth research, like, So to that extent, with him, with Gary, I agree. In June of 2022, the interest rates are going up. Lending is slowing down. The economy is slowing down. Layoffs are happening. Everywhere is giving you 1%, 0.5%, and then you have a platform that's offering 10%. Too good to be true. Current times, yes. During a bull market, great. Everyone's making money. Sure, you can pass more of that on. But how sustainable is that? And if you remember what Crypto.com did a few months ago, they slashed their interest rate, their earn rate on their credit card. Everyone was up in arms. But guess what? That was the right move. That was the right move. Because if they would have kept paying the 6%, 7%, 8%, guess what? We'd be talking about them becoming insolvent too. So, Rob, what do you think about our friend Gary the Gun? What's he talking about here?
Well,
did he make some good points? I know we bashed on the guy.
I see where he's coming from when it comes to a hedge fund. And so in comparison, so you have a custodial service that basically is an asset manager, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what a hedge fund is. A hedge fund is an asset manager. And they just take your cash and they invest into an asset and then they custody it for you. And then they cut you a check or whatever. Or however the asset fund wants to work. Anyways. Very comparable, right? Very comparable. Basically, I give you cash, you give me returns, you go do whatever on the back end to get me those returns. And that's how that business model works. And so the business models are very similar, so it kind of makes sense. Do I think that all crypto platforms, all the exchanges, to go register as a security and an institution that trades and invests for their consumer? Maybe. I don't know, man. You know what? I'm not that well versed when it comes to the legal jargon that you get. But what you doing over there, man?
All right, I was finding that one video.
So yeah, I'm not as well versed when it comes to that legal side. So I don't know what the best course is. I don't know securities law that well. So I don't know if it's more beneficial for crypto. Obviously, we're lacking regulation. And when I say we're lacking regulation, to a point to where some clarity, some path for an exchange or for a lending platform to go down if they want to do business in the U.S. and not get sued later down the road, and to have corporate different corporations investing and putting their money into these platforms, you need to have a clean, like, path to it. Everything needs to be clean and simple. Because if I'm a Fortune 500 company, I'm not going to invest in a crypto platform that might get sued a couple years down the road, right? And so if they check all the boxes and they are in agreement with the SEC, and the SEC gives you the green light, and they're like, hey, they're cool with us. Feel free to invest at your own will. You know what I mean? Maybe that's a good thing.
I mean, we're talking about something that was marketed as being safe, right? And on Celsius's website, literally everywhere it says safe, it's safe, your money's safe. Well, is it really? And we'll go into more of that.
Everybody does that. You know what I mean? Like, that's the thing. Is there any financial product, crypto, meme coin, layer one, a stock, whatever it is, a guy trying to raise capital for his barbershop? They always tell you the same thing. Like, hey, man, this is a great idea. It's safe. This is why. That's why you got to do your own research. Because ain't nobody going to go out and try to raise capital and try to tell you otherwise. Right? Nobody's going to be like, hey, man, you know what? This might not work out. Like, here's all the loopholes we have. Here's all the vulnerabilities we have in our business model. Nobody's going to do that. So at face value, every company is going to make it seem like it's the best idea in the world, that is super safe, and they're going to convey that message to their users. And then the users that get behind it, the people that are heavily invested, are going to be the ones speaking the loudest, their community.
In my opinion, the SEC and the regulators that are anti-crypto, they're looking at the Celsius situation, they're licking their chops, because guess what's coming? They got to BlockFi, settled with BlockFi, got them to register as a security. We'll go more over that, what kind of effect that had on the company. Celsius, you better believe they're coming after every other Celsius type DeFi protocol that's out there. Nexo, Lido, Curve. I mean, you name it. They are going to be coming after you. And it's like we talk about regulating ourselves, but then you have certain companies, certain people who take advantage of that. Not saying that Celsius did that maliciously, but when you're in a bull market and everyone's making money, great, man. The company's making money, your investors are making money, your consumers are making money. But when stuff hits the fan and you're not prepared, this is what happens.
Yeah, there
millions
needs to
of
be
dollars.
Accountability.
And what kind of accountability is that going to be, Robin? It's not just going to be for Celsius. It's going to be for the entire DeFi sector. That is why I'm telling you, do not have any money in DeFi. Please, it's not worth it. Okay.
At least not right now. Let the market kind of settle out. Let it shake out some of these. Right now, the market's in a downturn. And so, do I think we're going to hit $8,000 Bitcoin? I truly do not believe so. But let me tell you what will happen if there's an $8,000 Bitcoin. All of these leveraged companies, they're going to be in serious. They're going to be so underwater. Do you think, say, Curve Finance will survive if Bitcoin hits 8,000?
I don't know.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying, man. And so right now, it's just not the time, man. And let this kind of play out.
And you know what, Robin? I know you've been buying a lot of ETH, man. I'd be a little worried on ETH as well.
I'm fine. ETH's a long time. Here's the thing. I'm not okay.
I'm just saying they're the largest player in DeFi.
Let me tell you something. When it comes to,
I'm just throwing it out there.
My investment strategy, my personal investment strategy, y'all do what y'all want, not investment advice for you guys. My investment strategy is that I'm investing in long-term projects. And so I'm invested in Bitcoin and Ethereum heavily. And so for me, my Ethereum, I could literally care less if it hits $100. You know what I mean? I'll just buy more. I really don't care.
I agree with you.
I have profit-taking levels that I would like to hit in the short term. But if it doesn't hit, I don't care. And you know what? If the ETH merge coming up in September, October, whenever the hell it comes out
next year,
if it comes out and ETH rallies up to 3,000, I'm going to be taking some profits. That's what I positioned myself for. But at the same time, my investments are investments that are long term, and I have zero doubt for my own personal beliefs. And you know what I mean? You do your own research, but I have zero doubts in my own personal beliefs that Ethereum isn't going to rally past $5,000 in the next 5 years.
No, you don't think it will?
You don't think in the next cycle it's going to...
That it will or won't?
Yeah, it will.
It will, yeah.
It will rally over $5,000 come the next bull run, the next 5 years. So right now...
My statement was meant to be more for the short term. That's it. Long term, I'm.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it makes no difference to me.
Well,
if it rallies, but here's
your
the
situation
thing.
is different. Some people leverage trade. Some people swing trade.
You should not be investing right now for the short term. Period. You don't know how low this is going to go.
Some people are swing traders, man. Some people swing trade.
I've told you, and maybe that's where we got mixed signals here. I told you, like, hey man, when this thing hits 2,000, 3,000, I'm gonna take some profits. I think that's going to happen. But the whole reason I got into Ethereum versus, say, Avalanche or some other smaller project is that I feel comfortable with my investment that it is a good long-term project and that it's not going anywhere.
I agree.
And so for that reason, I could literally care less. And all it's going to do is going to put me in a position to buy more if it keeps dropping. I'm going to tell you what, man, I'll literally go sell my car if it hits $100. If Ethereum hits $100, I'm going to sell my car and I'm like, I can sell it for 8,000, so that's 80 Ethereum. Like, you know what? I'll catch the bus. And you know what? In 2 years when it rallies, I'll trade the bus pass in and I'll get me a nice Mercedes. How you doing?
You know what, Chris? Will you pull up my laptop real quick? Would you look at that? Everything's still in the green, huh? Interesting. Anyways, all right. So let's move on.
It's been 20 minutes, bro. Let's see where the market closes, okay? 20 minutes.
No, let's see.
And just so you know, NASDAQ was at 1.7 before the news. It's at 1.2.
I said it'll either have a small relief or it's trade sideways. That's
you didn't
what I
say
said.
Small relief.
Get
out of here.
All right. Chat, help me out here. I've been saying this on Twitter and I've been saying it during the thing. It's either going to trade sideways or have a small relief rally. That's what I've been saying.
Relief rally, so up a little bit?
Yes, which is what it is now.
It literally went down. It was at 1.7. It's now at 1.1. So it's had a little bit. I'm just saying, like, if you're going to say...
You're like one of those moles that always, when you don't think there's a way out of something, you dig your way out of it.
What is 1.7 to 1.1?
On the day... Okay, and I've been saying this before today even opened, all right? But we will check this at 12 o'clock before we sign off. All right, back to our articles. You can keep it, or you can go back to my laptop, sir. So I want to show you this tweet first, okay? This is Zhu Su, co-founder of Three Arrows Capital. Now, you might know Three Arrows Capital. They're one of the largest crypto investing hedge funds out there. Started in 2012. We are in the process of communicating with relevant parties and fully committed to working this out. A lot of people have been saying there's rumors of them being insolvent, going
they're
under.
Not a hedge fund. They're a venture capital.
They're considered a hedge fund.
Are they?
Yeah. Google it and fact check me real quick if you want to, but I'm pretty positive I read that. Anyways, so rumors swirl about financial stress at Three Arrows Capital. On-chain data has prompted speculation that 3AC, a crypto-focused Singapore-based hedge fund, is insolvent and may become the latest high-flying company to crash in the bear market. They sold at least $40 million worth of Lido staked Ether early Tuesday, making them the largest seller of the token in the past week. They have literally been dumping on the market, and there's a quote, "They are dumping on every account and seed round address they have. Most looks like it's going to pay back debts and outstanding borrows they have. The staked ETH fire sale began in May, right after the collapse of Terra's UST stablecoin. In several transactions on Tuesday, the hedge fund withdrew staked ETH that had deposited into Aave. It then exchanged at least 38,900 staked Ethereum, worth about $40 million to ETH. And this is a quote, I believe, from the co-founder. Most of the staked ETH fair discount analysis I've seen misses that from an on-chain functionality perspective, staked ETH is nearly pari passu with ETH functionality in DeFi. So people have been criticizing Mr. Zhu, saying that he's over here on Twitter saying staked ETH is on par with Ethereum. It's the same thing. And then on the back end, they're dumping all their stuff. So I was kind of sad when I was reading this, right? And I pulled up Three Arrows Capital, okay? And all the different projects they have money invested into. I mean, look at their hand and how many projects they invested in Near, in Avalanche, in Mina, Yearn, Aave, Kusama. I mean, Perpetual Protocol.
They were invested in Terra Luna, right? They were heavily invested in Terra
Luna. Celsius. Yep, here you go. Terraform Labs.
Yeah.
Celsius. You have Trader Joe, which is Avalanche as well. So they have had their hand in a lot of different startups, a lot of different companies, and who knows? Some of these tokens, some of these projects might not be around if it wasn't for Three Arrows Capital. Very concerning. And this is all thanks to the whole Celsius fiasco. And apparently they dumped between Celsius and Three Arrows, they are dumping nearly every single piece of staked ETH they have in their wallets. You know, part of this is Ethereum's fault. What? Man, I mean, literally, if the merge goes live right now, okay, and they take off that 6-month holding period, Celsius would survive. Three Arrows Capital, well, I don't know if Three Arrows would because they dumped all their stuff, but this is concerning, man. Rob, what are your thoughts, man?
Dude, they are one of the biggest VCs out there.
Hedge fund.
They're okay. You're right. You're right. They fit the definition of a hedge fund. I'm just saying they're not listed as a hedge fund here in the United States. They're not registered as a security as a hedge fund. I don't know. The hedge funds here I think of as the big powerhouses. You know, the TD Ameritrade and all that. So, anyways, really scary, bro, because they are, I think, top 3 venture capital, right?
I tried to look it up. I couldn't find a solid.
They've been around since like 2013.
2012 they were founded.
2012?
Yeah.
Okay, well, they started investing in 2013. Either way, they've been around for damn near 10 years, if not more. And so they've grown into the behemoth that they are. They were probably over-leveraged or overexposed when it came to Terra Luna. And they are the largest holder of staked Ethereum. You know that?
Yeah. I know.
The largest holder of staked Ethereum. And so they've been the wallet or the at fault for depegging it, because they have been dumping ever since the market has been crashing. They've been trying to have enough liquidity to service their debt, and they haven't had the cash on hand, so they've been dumping the staked Ethereum because it's one of their biggest holdings, and they can't wait for the merge to come out. Yeah. So they're part of the reason why it depegged, and now they're selling everything at a loss because staked Ethereum. Where is staked Ethereum at anyway? So I'm gonna take a look here.
I think,
so this
it's only like $40 off, $50 off. I could be wrong.
Is it? I know it's been fluctuating a lot. So staked Ethereum is at $1,011.
1011. And ETH is,
and Ethereum is at 1080. So $70 off. So that's
7%.
7% off. Ish. So you're supposed to be pegged to the Ethereum. We were about 7% off. Not good, man. And so every time, think about this. Every time Three Arrows Capital sells some staked Ethereum, they're taking a 7% loss on every transaction right now.
Hey, man, to them right now, if this is true, if insolvency is on the table, I would take a 7% loss all day long. Try to keep my company.
But what the problem is if they're on the borderline of even having enough money, 7% might be the threshold. You get what I'm saying? Like,
it's a tough spot to be in. And
so I think this is a looming threat. I think this bear market's gonna, before, so the ICO craze last bull market, and then you had the shakeout where ICO after ICO after ICO basically shut down.
Yep.
And it was only a handful of players that survived. I think the same thing is going to happen when it comes to DeFi. And I think that all of these lending platforms, smaller exchanges, one by one, are not going to have enough capital to survive, to honor their debt, to provide exit liquidity. They're going to fall short. And I think one by one, these are going to collapse. And I think we're going to look back and be like, hey, man, you know what?
Look,
2020 and 2020 to 2022, that was a year of the NFT and a year of the DeFi collapse. So
here's okay. So I'm a true believer in there's always a silver lining to every negative situation, right? And I don't when I'm gonna say what I'm about to say, I don't mean to be insensitive to people that have lost money on Luna, people that have money currently on Celsius, but the fact of the matter is, you need stuff like this to happen, okay? You need it to happen, especially for a burgeoning sector, something that has the potential to disrupt an entire financial system like DeFi. Because projecting forward, if I extrapolate what's happening now, what I think will continue to happen, and then how we come out of it on the other side, you're going to have either regulation. So if you're offering services like Celsius, essentially you're a bank. Think about what your bank does. They take your deposit, they lend it out to other people, they make money, they pay you a little bit. They were doing the same thing, but on a much larger scale, right? Much riskier. And there was no one to back them up. There was no one to regulate them. Hey, are you actually keeping X amount of collateral? Hey, are you actually, disclosing all the investments you're making? You're saying you're doing, so there's no one watching over them. So you have people go rogue, and in the meantime, when stuff is good, everyone's making money, no one bats an eye. But when things go south, this is where you start seeing happening. You start seeing the companies that were solid in their decision making, and those are the ones you need to look at coming out of the bear market. If BlockFi survives, feel good about BlockFi going into the next one. If Nexo survives, feel good about Nexo. So what you're going to end up seeing is when we come out of this bear market and into the next bull market, DeFi will look completely different. It'll either be regulated like a security, which in my opinion, seeing what's going on with these guys, with BlockFi, with Aave, might not be such a bad thing because they're not decentralized anyways. It's centralized. If I can stop people from taking money out of my platform, that is not decentralized. So, or you're going to see companies put at the forefront disclosures to their people, maybe every week. Hey, this is our holdings. This is how much collateral we have, so people can feel safe. I think change will be good. It sucks going through it now, and it sucks for the people that have lost money.
I'm also very curious, what kind of accountability will happen to these companies after the fact, because there is.
Didn't you hear about a class action lawsuit?
Yeah, well, here's one. Here, pull up my laptop real quick, there, Chris. So here's one here. So this is and this one's from March. So yeah, I guess there's been litigation at hand for a while. Let me see what I can find for more recent. It's in the past week. And then there's
yeah, I thought Ben.
So here you got BitBoy. So Ben Armstrong, the host and founder of BitBoy Crypto. Somebody we partner with. Really great guy, by the way. But either way, Ben came out saying that today we will begin the process of bringing a class action lawsuit against Celsius and Alex Mashinsky. More details to come. So this is one of many people going down this road. So let's see here. Yeah, I saw a couple different announcements on this as well. So. This is an energy transfer. No, this ain't it. But Okay. Anyways, I saw some other ones when I was doing my research. So there's a handful of class action lawsuits. So you know what? If you did lose money, at least if there is a company afterwards and they don't make whole with their debts with their users, maybe there'll be some recourse in that direction as well. Maybe you can get some.
I don't think there's gonna be any money left, man. Not like to be honest with you, bro. If it gets to the point, if they survive somehow, I have no signal on my thing.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. Like, if you have a class action lawsuit, let's just say, for example, you have a class action lawsuit, right?
Yeah.
And let's say Alex Mashinsky, say he's worth $2 billion.
Okay.
If his company goes bankrupt, you can still hold him liable for being the CEO and founder. And so at least there, we instead of somebody saying, hey, we can't pay you back, our company closed, at least a class action lawsuit can hold him personally liable. And then you can, and if he has a bunch of money in the bank.
Yeah, but
I'm just saying, like, if you got,
I'm sure the way their company is set up, it's an LLC or a corp, so their personals are protected.
But you can. This is civil lawsuit, though. You can still go for individuals. You don't have to. There's always workarounds, and you can hold people accountable. And so,
you know, since we're talking about Celsius, let's go ahead and move on from Three Arrows Capital and talk about Celsius. And I want to show you guys a video. This is from 2021 in November. This is Peter Schiff talking to Alex Mashinsky. And CW, first of all, Robin, will you give an OR real quick?
For who?
CW.
Oh, CW. Hola! Welcome to Sin City Crypto.
CW said, why won't they take Nexo's offer? That's a great question. That's a good question.
You know, they're restructuring, or they're going through the process of restructuring Celsius, or at least they're in discussion with lawyers to do so, which is one of the typical steps that you have before you sell.
Or declare bankruptcy. Yeah. So we're actually going to go over all of that. We'll go over all the different scenarios, how they plan on restructuring, the different things they can do. We'll do that after this video. But so again, Peter Schiff, Alex Mashinsky, November 2021. Please enjoy.
Margin payment.
Bitcoin pays dividends, Peter. Bitcoin pays dividends. Price Celsius.
How does Bitcoin pay a dividend?
6.2% dividend. Because we earn yield.
How do you earn yield on Bitcoin? What do you?
Hold on a second. Dang, we got no.
Damn, nothing. Go to Studio Cam, Chris.
Yeah, we got. It's the capture card.
The capture card.
Yeah. Damn. It's one thing after another.
Technology's funny, man. You spend all this money on capture card, this and that. There we go. We're back. All right. I'm not back. So, yeah. Robin. Okay. So since we're having some technical difficulties, so essentially,
well, you can play it.
You can play it.
Yeah. Right. If you see if we're on your laptop plugs into our capture card, so. Okay. It's not like
income for that Bitcoin.
I'm happy to spend an hour with you.
Yeah, you're trading it. You got to be taking tremendous amount of risk. The Bitcoin itself doesn't generate any yield.
It does, just like any other asset can generate yield. Gold.
No, but what earnings does the Bitcoin generate?
Gold generates 5.5% at Celsius yield.
No,
tokenized
what
gold
are you doing to generate that? You must be taking tremendous risk to generate those returns. Of course you are.
Okay.
You're not. Of course you must be.
Look, I'm not giving financial advice. I'm just explaining that this is
interest rates are practically zero. How can you get 5% interest on gold?
It's an amazing opportunity for people to unbank themselves, right? Take advantage of this market.
You know who also had an amazing opportunity? Madoff. Bernie Madoff had an amazing opportunity too.
Alex, we want to bring in another question for you.
Even your own son chose Bitcoin, and
he's 19. He's 19. Yes, okay.
Yeah, and
there's a theory out there.
What does he know?
Peter, there's a theory out there that between you and your son, you've got this whole thing worked out, that he plays Bitcoin, you play gold, and it's actually quite ingenious. And a lot of people applaud you for that.
Your son is making you look like a gold
money.
All right,
I recognize what gold is,
I have some serious
but it's not like I've got
questions for you.
everything I own in gold. but I recognize that gold is real money and that gold is the answer to the fiat currency problem. And I believe the world will return to a gold standard. I mean, the norm throughout history is that we're going to be on a gold standard. We will never be on a Bitcoin
new gold standard. It's a new gold standard called Bitcoin.
No, it's not. It's a fool's
right.
fool's gold. And
Let's
it's never
do this
going to be a
again in
standard.
a year and take a look and see what happened. Okay.
Was that a year ago?
That was almost a year ago.
Oh, was it?
Okay, so we make fun of Schiff, okay, but he's got some points. Okay, he's got some points. What I'm curious is how the hell does he truly believe that we'll go back on a gold standard? Why the hell would the government go from being able to print whatever amount of money they want at any time, inflating the supply, inflating everything, right? Go back to a sound monetary policy where they 1-for-1 has to be backed by gold. That's the dumbest thing. One of the dumbest things I've heard anyone say. The dumbest thing was someone argued with me 2 years ago. America's dollar is still backed by gold. I'm like, what? He literally for 10 minutes argued with me that America was still backed by gold.
Dude, yeah, I hear that so often still. Like, and at least at bare minimum, you should be somewhat aware of how your own monetary system works. And so, I don't know. I feel like you should do a little bit of research.
Just a tiny bit.
Like, you should understand kind of how the dollar works, at least a little bit.
Yeah.
In the same way that you should understand, like, the basic interest rate you would get on, like, a credit card. Like, you should at least know, like, hey, if I make the minimum payment for 2 years, I'm not going to pay this thing off. You know what I mean? Like, at least you should have the small grasp. And when it comes to the monetary system, you should at least understand that, hey, man, your dollar that you have is not backed by gold. And I think that's a misconception a lot of people have. I've heard it a lot, man.
Will you pull up my laptop, Chris? Oh, wow. Looks like NASDAQ's up 3%. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So back to the... I'm just kidding, bro. All right.
That's why your camera don't work.
Chris, you can go to my laptop, sir. All right. So Robin touched on this yesterday, but I wasn't able to get on the show.
I'm literally ordering another capture card right now.
Yeah. Hold on. I might have some points on my Amazon card. Sorry. Robin talked about this yesterday, but I wasn't on there to give my take. So we're going to just briefly highlight. Plus, we only had about 20 people on there. Crypto lender Celsius hires restructuring lawyers amid mounting problems. Crypto lender Celsius LLC has hired restructuring attorneys from law firm Akin Gump Strauss Hauer and just do an acronym or something, man. AKSH or something. Anyways, this long named law firm to advise on possible solutions for its mounting financial problems, according to people familiar with the matter. They're first looking for possible financing options from investors. So essentially going out to someone like a Three Arrows Capital, Andreessen Horowitz, saying, hey, lend us some money so we can settle these debts and these obligations we have. Highly doubt anyone's going to do that. So they're also exploring all other alternatives, including financial restructuring. And here's financial restructuring, okay? The effects of a corporate restructuring strategy. And there's a few ones that we're going to go over them, okay? A restructuring involves negotiating the different positions taken by investors and owners who hold the equity and lenders and creditors who control the debt, okay? So you have financial restructuring, a debt swap. This is where they may replace debt with equity. When a company swaps out its debt, it eliminates existing shareholders. In lieu of a liquidation or bankruptcy, the debt holders take over the company's assets and obtain a claim on future earning. Rob, pay attention because I'm going to be asking a lot of questions about this. In the lieu of a liquidation or bankruptcy, the debt holders take over the company's assets and obtain a claim on future earnings in the form of newly issued shares. Don't see that happening. Debt loading. This is when they may load the balance sheet with debt to finance the buyout of existing shareholders. Possible, but who's gonna give them the debt? Did the laptop go off? Oh, goodness gracious. All right, let's try this.
Yeah, man, I don't know.
That was the good stuff. All right, try again, Chris.
None of it works.
None of it works.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't work.
Nope.
God.
Oh boy. It's always something here, man. You know, we got the internet working. You know what? The internet stays strong. Oh, hey, there we go. We're back. God. You know what? I'm gonna unplug my computer. Maybe it's just a little too much strain on the card.
So I see what you did there.
Oh, actually, no. You know what? My computer will always work because it's a different capture card.
Ah.
So yeah, we'll plug yours in. We'll plug mine in because it's an external capture card on that one. Yeah, that's it.
All right. Yeah, because this stuff, that's some juicy stuff.
And then just pull up Robin's laptop, and then it'll pull up. There you go.
Right. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so we talked about debt swap. Now, as far as debt loading, they may load the balance sheet with debt to finance the buyout of existing shareholders. Who's going to give them that debt? We don't know. Organizational restructuring. An organizational restructuring strategy involves redesigning operations and management reporting structures. A restructuring organization uses downsizing to eliminate costly overhead and enable a company to return to profitability. You also have a portfolio restructuring. It's a divestiture strategy. Companies sell, shut down, or spin off unprofitable, money-losing divisions and subsidiaries, or those that no longer fit its strategy. Portfolio restructuring allows a corporation to refocus on its core activities and raise much-needed capital. So, in my humble opinion, portfolio restructuring, I believe, is out of the question, okay? Refocus on its core activities, which literally they essentially have one thing. It is lending, it is borrowing. So I think that's out of the question. Organizational restructuring is downsizing the company, eliminating costly overhead, which I don't know what kind of overhead they would get rid of or how they would reorganize. Debt loading may load the balance sheet with debt to finance the buyout of existing shareholders, or debt swapping. This might be the one they go with. Now, of course, guys, this is all speculation. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's going to happen. This is just me speculating. Replace debt with equity. It eliminates their existing shareholders, and in lieu of bankruptcy or liquidation, the debt holders take over the company assets and obtain a claim on future earnings in the form of newly issued shares. I don't know. What do you think, Robin?
Restructuring, huh?
You think BK is out of the question? Bankruptcy?
I think everything's on the table. You know, I was talking about this yesterday, and I don't think anybody really knows what's happening. I don't think Celsius knows what's happening right now. What they're doing is that they have all their options on the table. They halted trading to just basically stop a death spiral, complete collapse where they just don't have enough money to go around. And so, you know, you find yourself at an interesting position. Like, what direction are you going to go? Are you going to sell the company? And the thing is, nobody knows this. We don't know this. I don't think Alex Mashinsky knows it. His lawyers don't know this. They're just weighing their options, and they're trying to figure out what their next move is. And so I think in the coming weeks, we'll find out. I think they'll make a decision, probably what's best for them and their customers. Hopefully they make a decision that makes people whole as far as their accounts. But, I mean, at this point, who the hell knows, man? Honestly.
I would literally go to the Ethereum Foundation and say, let us have access to the staked Ethereum. I don't even know if that's possible.
It's not. It's the staking protocol is done by contract, and so that's the thing, man. You have a decentralized platform. You can't go in there and change stuff because it doesn't work in your favor. That's it, man. Like that's what you sign up for. You know what I mean? Like if you put into a smart contract, I'm locking my tokens away, and there's no unlock, for example, or to unlock it, these conditions need to be met. That's just what it is.
You know, the Nexo offer, man, They should really consider that. That would be them essentially.
But as Nexo, like, why the hell would you do that? I mean, obviously, you're gonna be buying it at an extreme discount, but it's still gonna be a lot of risk.
And if you've been making solid investments and your balance sheet is strong, then hell yeah, you do that. That's how companies grow and conglomerates exist. Here's the thing, though, for Celsius to sell the Nexo, they would essentially put the shield down, right? We lost. It would be in the best interest of their investors.
I think they already lost, bro. I mean,
but you know. Imagine you're Alex Mashinsky, okay? You built this company to have over $10 billion of people's money in managing, right? You're at the top of the world. You're one of the largest DeFi platforms out there. And for you to lay your arms down and admit defeat, I mean, at the end of the day, man, people got egos. And I'm not saying he's got a big ego. I'm not saying he's a bad person. I'm just saying. Takes a lot for someone to say, look.
When you lost, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You can sit here and say, like, accept defeat. Like, if you're playing a football game and the clock is running out and you're down by 3 touchdowns, you got no choice but to accept defeat. It's not like he's doing the honorable thing here.
You do have
the game is over. You don't have enough money. You mismanaged it. You can't pay people back, and you're going under. You're underwater. You don't have enough capital. You're about to get sued by thousands of people. You're on all the news stations. You lost. You're not accepting defeat. You literally. The timer is running out on the scoreboard. You have lost the game. So. To sit here and say it's honorable that he accepts defeat, he hasn't even said anything. He hasn't even went on freaking. When's the last time he tweeted? He canceled an M&A.
No, they're doing it on the 17th.
Okay, I'd like to see that. And he canceled an AMA 3 days ago before this happened. He said he wasn't feeling good.
Lost his voice. They said he lost his voice.
Yeah, he lost his voice. Do you believe it now? I mean, obviously, dude's lying, right? You lost your voice 1 day before you halted your trading. I mean, you call that a coincidence? Nah, playa. And so, anyways, man, yeah. You know what?
Drew wants to know.
People at face value, they might look like they're stand-up people, but you know what, man? And we met Alex. He's very humble, man. But you know what? As things come to light, man, it's starting to not look good, bro.
He wants to know your confidence level of people getting their money out.
I don't, honestly, I don't think nobody has an answer, man. And I know you're looking for an answer, and I could sit here and give you my opinions or my thoughts, but it doesn't go anywhere. And so if it was me, I've already told you, man, if you get an opportunity to exit your position, if you get access to your account, I would definitely immediately withdraw. But guys, I would plan to not see it anymore. You know what I mean? Like, whatever recourse that means, like, I would position yourself.
Hope for the best.
Yeah, I would assume you're not going to see it anymore. That'd be how I would prepare for that.
Listen, guys, please understand something, okay? If you have money in Celsius, I can't tell you how much money I have lost, okay? I had a gambling problem, and I would go at age 22, 23 years old. I just had my son, and I would go and blow everything in the slot machine, and I would come home crying. I would punch holes in the wall. But you know what? My dad sat me down one day and he was like, what happened to your hands? And so I broke down and I told him. He goes, puts his arm on my shoulder. He goes, son, money is like the dirt under your fingernails. It comes and it goes. You can go to work tomorrow, start over, and make money. Okay? Nothing, no matter what kind of money you're losing, Drew, if you have your life savings in there, guess what, buddy? You're healthy, you can go out there and make more money, and you can build up another life savings. What you can't do is you can't replace your own life, you can't replace family, you can't replace the things that are important. So even if, worst case scenario, they go bankrupt and your money is gone, guess what? You are literally in the time right now, in the bear market, the depths of a bear market.
Time is now. If I
you can slowly reaccumulate cryptocurrency, reaccumulate Bitcoin, reaccumulate Ethereum, man, and 2 years from now, bro.
You know what? If you don't just completely exit, if you don't just put your hands up and leave, because I understand. I'd actually understand. You know what? If you lost crazy amount of money,
it hurts,
and you were just like, I'm done with crypto. I get it, man. Like you know what? If you take some big losses, man, it sucks, dude. But
you know, some lessons cost more than others.
But here's the thing: you come out stronger on the other side, and if you stick with it, it'll definitely be. You'll have an appreciation for good projects. You'll have appreciation for
It'll
studying.
definitely make you a more savvy investor.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that right now. So just stick with it, man. You're in a great space. I know
this is the best time to get
literally
into it.
we're getting close to a bottom.
You know, $100, not investment advice, but $100 invested now could turn into 10,000 in the next bull run.
And then I'm telling you,
it's very simple, man.
You'll look back 2 years from now, whoever this is, not just Drew, but if anyone, if you're down about losing money, you got money on Celsius, or you had money in Luna, guess what? Move forward. Learn from your mistake, right? That's what I had to do. Learn from your mistake. Say, what did I do wrong? What can I do better? And then move forward.
A lot of these big hedge funds, some of the biggest names out there in Wall Street right now, basically came out of the ashes from the dot-com bubble.
Hell yeah, man.
And that's where majority of these big multi-billion-dollar corporations came from. They came from losing everything in the dot-com bubble. And there's even more recent examples of the housing crash where people just literally got liquidated to the point where they just had nothing. I mean, there's people that bought the tops of houses, and, you know, they were like flipping houses, and they had like a handful of houses. They all had to get foreclosed, had to file for bankruptcy. And some of these individuals and companies came roaring back. And, you know, they learned the hard way, you know, and it's not easy to go through it, but you learn and you move on, man.
Yeah, I want to share something that BitBoy posted yesterday. Robin, if you want to kind of take over for a little bit, this is pretty.
Okay. Well, I don't have a laptop, so.
Okay. All right.
I mean, you tell me what you want to talk about, but.
You know what? Let's go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and move on to our last segment of our show, which is going to be our market analysis. Go ahead. Now, I feel like Chris is already 10 times better than Eddie will ever be. So, Chris, we love you. Thank you so much. All right, so let's just take a look. Oh, look at that. Go ahead and pull up my laptop, sir. There we go. Bitcoin rallied a little bit, up to 21,500. ETH above 1150. BNB to 218. Cardano was actually up 5%, sitting at 50 cents. Man, I'm just imagining, what would Cardano be doing right now if we're in a bull market? With the hard fork coming up, with everything else, what would they be doing? Because right now, they are one of the ones that are up the most, along with Dogecoin, also up a little over 4%, sitting at 5 solid pennies. Now, Bitcoin miners, this is some not so good news. Bitcoin miners to exchange flow. This is going back to October of 2021. And this line here, this is a line you don't want to cross. And we are right there at this line. So miners are sending their Bitcoin to exchanges at a rate as fast as we haven't seen since the end of last year. So potential bearish on-chain analysis for Bitcoin as far as miners, because obviously the only reason miners are going to send their coins on exchanges is to sell, take profit, fill up their overhead. Now, here's something I want to show you. This is from Token Metrics. This is their sentiment analysis, their sentiment index. And guess who's got the best sentiment right now? Robin, it's your boy Dogecoin.
Get out of here,
Very
bro.
positive. Coming in at number 4 is Cardano, positive. Then you have EOS, Litecoin, FTX, and Cosmos Hub. Those are neutral. As far as some very negative ones, Tron, obviously with the USDD pegging. Uniswap, Monero, Stellar, and Bitcoin is also very negative as well. So just something I wouldn't put too much too much weight on it, but something interesting to take a look at. Another thing I want to take a look at is this is Coin Market Calendar. Okay, so all the big happenings in the top 100 cryptocurrencies. So STEPN, if you're into the STEPN and GMT, excuse me, they have a town hall meeting today. JED AMA. So if you're not familiar with JED, they are the Cardano native stablecoin that's going to be launching on Kadi. They are doing an AMA tomorrow. Stacks is doing a community call, and then there was one, NFT NYC as well. That's happening June 20th. And there was one down here. Oh, and then, of course, the Vassal hard fork, June 29th, will bring about the all-encumbered weighted, I don't even know if that's the right word to use, the Hydra. Hydra will put Cardano capacity at over 3 million transactions per second. 3 million transactions per second. Okay, pretty huge. And Axie Infinity has their land gameplay in June as well, towards the end. And then so here you go. If you guys want to look for yourself, the website is coinmarketcal.com. All right, this is the Bitcoin stock to flow deflection. And we are literally at all-time lows. We have never been this low. If you follow this line here on the bottom, I don't know if it's too easy to tell. We've never dipped even close to this number. So if we zoom in here and see what's going on, essentially what this stock to flow deflection measures is it measures the ratio between the current price and the stock to flow model. If the deflection is greater than 1, it means Bitcoin is overvalued. If it's less than 1, it means it is undervalued. And you want to look at this green. It is the lowest it has ever been, sitting at 0.2. So Bitcoin is considered extremely undervalued. Mix that with the price, the bill coming out, already stating that it's a commodity. You don't have to worry about the SEC coming in. If you're buying anything other than Bitcoin, Ethereum, you should definitely look into not doing that and buying Bitcoin and buying Ethereum. All right, a couple charts I want to look at, and then we'll be done. So this is the Bitcoin daily chart, okay? Robin mentioned this, the 200-day moving average, okay? And I'll zoom in for you guys here. This is the solid orange line, 200-day moving average. We bounced off of it on June 12th, and then we closed under the last 2 days. Well, let's look at history, right? History can kind of tell us what to expect. So back here, and I got this plotted out already. So this is back in 2020 of March, the pandemic crash. We traded below the 200-week moving average for a total of 7 days, okay? And it happened one more time before that, and that was back in, if I zoom in a little bit here for you guys, this was started in August of 2015. We spent 14 days trading under the 200-week moving average. So historically, we do not spend much time under this 200-week moving average. And historically, once we come out of it, we bounce off. We tend to see large increases here. You saw an increase of over 100%. Over here, if I zoom back out, stay patient with me, guys. Yeah, this is going to be a huge one. This was literally the beginning of the massive bull run. I'm not even going to measure it. That's like a 1,300% rise. So right now, we're sitting at 2 days trading underneath the 200-week moving average for Bitcoin. Also, we are oversold. We haven't been this oversold since early January. And then what happened in early January? We saw a relief rally from about 33,000 all the way up to 47,000. Will we see a similar rally? Who knows? Well, the wild card here, okay, is the macroeconomics. All right, we've never been in this situation on a macro level with cryptocurrency. That is the wild card. No one knows, and if people think they know, they're lying. No one knows. So we'll wait and see. But just looking at pure history and metrics, what Bitcoin's done, this is what it's done. And then the last thing I want to show you guys is this is by the way, the first one I showed you was the daily chart. This is the weekly chart. And what we're going to focus on here, and I'm going to make this a little bigger, we're going to focus on the RSI. We have never been at these levels. And I'm not counting December of 2011. We have never been this oversold on the weekly Bitcoin chart. Okay. there's only what goes up must come down, and what goes down must bounce back up. Right? It's just like an arrow, okay? Just like an arrow. You could throw my face in the little corner there, Chris. Just like an arrow, okay? And I might not be holding the arrow right. But you pull the arrow back, okay? You keep pulling it back, the bow. You keep pulling the bow back, the bow. Eventually, it's going to spring forward, right? You can't pull it back forever. It's going to break. And we all know Bitcoin's not going to break. Or I don't believe Bitcoin's going to break. Eventually, it's going to bounce back. Do we know when? No. But everything is saying we're getting ready for a nice big move.
Have you ever shot a bow and arrow?
One time. But it was a plastic one.
The one with the plunger at the end?
To end our stream today, Robin, please go ahead. Give me my credit. Come on.
What do you want?
Waiting. Markets are up. 2.5 on the NASDAQ, 1% on the Dow.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you very much.
We'll see where it closes.
Thank you very much. He does have a point. The first hour, last hour, usually where the big moves happen. So we'll see. Let's get rid of that one. Anyways, you got anything else to add, Rob, before we go fix
that's
our
it. I'm literally trying to order a capture card right now. That's why.
All right. Mr. Producer, please go ahead and roll the outro music, my friend. Friends, family, to all of our new people, I believe you got to turn the volume up on the...
Yeah. He knows what he's doing.
Okay,
leave him alone.
Jesus Christ.
He's trying to let you talk, man.
Oh, my... Sorry, Chris. On behalf of myself, Robin, and Chris, thank you so much again for filling in. We appreciate it. To all you guys, we're sorry about the little issues we had, but we hope you enjoyed the content regardless. Make sure you come back tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. Vegas time, for our second to last of the week live stream. We love you guys. Until tomorrow. Peace.
I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. Smoking on a island, say she wanna ride with me. Took her on a flight, said all her bags from Italy. I sent her with a friend, they shopping there religiously. Whoa, whoa, yeah. You say she love me, but that's when she rockin' Prada bag. Said she ready for the next, I walk not so fast. Slow down, slow down, slow down, girl, don't you crash. Whoa, whoa, yeah. Cause we can mess up that pretty face, but we can fuck up that pretty lace. Tryna kiss up, I'm in your place. Man, this shit so crazy. Never thought I'd be doing shit like this again. Put that effort in, girl, then I repay you. Crash that thing out the park, now I feel like Babe Ruth, baby. This shit I can't do, baby. No, I can't move, baby. Nothing I can't prove, baby. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. Question marks along your brain, wonder if you should try again. Look at me inside your braces. Can't focus when we face to face. Plenty things I could go say. Name a place I go and pay at. Said she want no boo. Been around the world, plenty things I can show you. Taking flights to GA for our soul food. Gotta pay 1K for GA at my shows too. Keep it 1K with my fans even at my lows. Ooh. That's why I'm back. Show your man the things I've showed you. Tell your man how I used to hold you, but I won't hold you. Your new man is lame and all I spoke is true. Light one smoke for you. That sadness comes with coping too. This madness come with shit that's overdue. You strong with yourself, nobody else holding you, but I ain't holding you. You the one I need when I'm off that perk or two. Hit that thing early, got you sleep like curve for you. All these lame ass bitches I curve for you. All these packs and pearls I burnt with you. It's up now, baby, it's stuck. They can look, but they cannot. They gon' hate, so I keep that tucked. All this ice on me like pucks. I work hard, don't need no luck. Only thing I need is my Glock. When there's bread, these birds gon' flock. When they dead, I let them rot. I ain't tryna leave you up, I said stop waiting. And I don't got time for these pussy fuckers playing. You gotta read between the lines that I am saying. Ain't got no time for no more bullshit conversations. Cause I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off. I got 16 missed calls on my phone. Times change, Mickey D's turn into Rabuchon. Kick my feet up, drink leader, smoke on a new strong. Couple margaritas, senoritas, I goof off.